Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Certified Life and Relationship Coach, Coach Court. In today's video, we're going to talk about the stages of the rebound relationship. Thank you for sticking around. If this is your first time viewing me, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel by clicking that subscribe button and ringing that bell so you're notified for all the newest coaching content. Before I get into the content, if you want my help personally, reach out to me on my website at www.fruitfulseeds.com, and you can inquire about the YouTube membership that I have right here in the YouTube community, or the new coaching course that I just released for anxiously attached people, and also inquire about the coaching discounts that I have running here throughout October. In today's video, we're going to talk about the stages of the rebound relationship. Now, I broke it down to 6 different stages, and the reason that I was able to come to these stages were based off of the people that I've worked with in the past, my personal experience, and actually the coaches that I've studied. Coaches need coaches, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, I know it all. I do a lot of studying, and I compare that to my life and the things that I've experienced in the past. If you look at all the great coaches, they'll tell you, the life coaches, they'll tell you they have coaches as well. So where did this information come from? You study it, you learn it, you start to see a few different patterns in people's lives and how people operate like human beings. There's not much that changes with their behavior. So I was able to boil it down to these 6 things that's going to happen when you're dealing with a rebound relationship. The very first one is the grass is greener syndrome. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the grass is greener syndrome, it's the notion that a person will leave someone because they feel like the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. What they're not getting in that current relationship, the other relationships have. This is the whole, where they have the whole 80-20 rule that comes in. A person would often leave that 80% person for that other 20% person. And when they get that person, they usually realize this isn't what I had before. I had things made in the relationship that I was in before because this person was meeting my needs. They were probably speaking my love languages. They have a show that's out that basically talks about this very concept. People are selfish and they're greedy, if I'm being honest. As a human beings, we are very selfish. We put ourselves first. You want that 100%. You can't get that 100% because that means you'll have to have a perfect person or meet a perfect person. And you all know that no one's perfect. So you're going to always be missing out on 20%, 30%, maybe even 50%. Now, I'm not saying that you should settle in a relationship, because you should never settle. If you feel like you're settling for a person, then most likely you're going to go out and cheat on that person anyway. So you have to make sure that this person is meeting enough of those needs and you're not settling in that relationship. Which leads me to the next stage of that relationship, the relief stage. Now, this is when they feel relief from you. Everything that you were doing and saying was probably turning them off and made them not want anything else to do with you. Because if they're already thinking about the grass being green on the other side, the more things wrong that you do is going to push them towards that conclusion even more. So when they break up with you, the relief starts to settle in. And while their relief is settling in, they're probably talking to this person even more. They're starting to intensify. If you guys aren't familiar with Mark Knapp's theory for relationship development, I advise you to go check that out. It's 10 stages of the relationships. The 5 is coming together, the other 5 is coming apart. But I'm not going to get too deep into that right now in this video. They're feeling that relief from you where they can actually do whatever they want to do. So this new greener pastures, they're able to chase that now because they're not with you anymore. It's going to be rolling into the infatuation stage / honeymoon stage. Now, this is when they're super blind. Everything that that person does is the best thing since sliced bread. And everything that you do, if you're still contacting them and you're still trying to get them back, it's going to look very weak and like you don't put much value on yourself. So I always advise to people, if you're going to be going through a breakup or in a situation like this, you want to make sure that you go in no contact. Don't talk to them. Don't reach out to them. People ask me, they say, how that's counterproductive. If I want this person back, I have to keep that contact with them. I have to keep that emotional connection. I said, well, there's only one path to get somebody back. There's only one path to let a person go. And that path is exactly what I'm telling you. You have to go no contact. And they're in that infatuation stage and that honeymoon stage when they're getting the release of all the oxytocin and dopamine. It's not going to last for very long because the next stage is going to be the stubbornness phase. Now, this is the phase where they are trying to prove to everybody around them that the relationship is real. They're trying to prove to their friends and their family, and some of the things that you'll be seeing is they'll be posting online. They may try to show off the relationship they'll introduce them to their friends and family right away. They're basically just trying to convince themselves that a decision that they made by breaking up with you and leaving you was a good decision, but their conscience is going to start wearing on them, and once they go into the next stage, the comparison stage, that's going to become more clear that what I was doing before was just a ploy. It was just a hoax. I was trying to show people that, hey, I can make the right decisions, because there's like a deep sense of shame that they feel. Let's say that you were with them for about two years, 10 years. They're trying to convince everybody around them that, hey, I can make good decisions. No one wants to feel as if they're a mess up. They're trying to prove to everybody that, hey, I have feelings for this person. I'm over my ex, and this is what they're trying to prove to everybody. If they haven't taken the time to heal their heart, heal from all the mistakes that they've made, actually improve upon the mistakes that they made and become a better, stronger person, then most likely they are going to repeat those certain patterns. And I've heard people say that you can't really fall out of love with someone. You just disconnect from those feelings. You are going to always love that person, maybe in a different capacity, but you'll always have love for them. You may not be actually in love with them, but what happens after a breakup and when they're in their rebound relationship, they're trying to detach those feelings and emotions from you, or even replacing those feelings and intensifying it with the next person. They essentially rush their relationship up to the same stage that you were at when you were in that relationship, which is why they're buying the same clothes they normally buy for you, gifting the same gifts, going to the same places that you guys went to. The next stage is the comparison stage. Now this is the stage where they see everything that you used to do and they see who this person is. And most of the time they don't like what they see. They start to think of all the pluses and the minuses in your relationship, and they start to, detract from their level of attraction for this new person that they're with. So the comparison stage is the next stage after the stubbornness stage. But after that stubbornness stage and that comparison stage, you're going to go into the remorseful stage, where they're feeling regret about the breakup. They're feeling regret about the things that they've done to you, because when they were in that honeymoon, in that infatuation stage, they probably talked to you very poorly. They treated you poorly. They became a stranger. They became a shell of the person that they was when they were with you. And that's when they start to feel that regret. They may not reach out to you. That's going to be the last stage. They may not reach out to you because they feel so much shame and like they have completely ruined their relationship with you. They, what do they call it? Too much water under the bridge. They completely burned all the bridges. When they're in that remorseful state, this is the time when they're going to be thinking about, all right, maybe I should reach out. Maybe I just got caught up in this new shiny object and I wasn't really thinking about it. I wasn't really playing my cards right. But the path there is the same way. No contact, work on yourself, work on improving yourself, becoming a better person than you were when they left you, because when they come back, if they come back, you're going to want to be somebody different. They broke up with you for a reason, and when they come back to you and check in on you to see how they're doing, pop their little head in the window, you're going to want to be somebody that they want to re-engage with. Because if you're that same person, they're not going to want you. And the last stage is the reconciliation stage, or them moving on for good. That stage is when they're going to either terminate the relationship. It usually happens because most rebounds break up, with a 90% chance of it happening. They're either going to terminate the relationship that they're currently in and reach out to you, or they're going to terminate and go move to somebody else. They may not come back to you. And this is what I want you guys to understand. You may never see or hear from them again. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to put that to bed. No one's here forever. If you think about, the people that you knew back in middle school, elementary, high school, those friends you may have on Facebook now, but there was a world where you didn't have online social media. You didn't have Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, any of those things. You have to realize that people are in your lives for maybe a season, maybe a reason, but it's often not till death do you part. So to recap, the first stage is going to be the grass is greener. It's going to be the relief stage, then the infatuation / honeymoon stage, the stubbornness stage when they're trying to prove it to everybody, the comparison stage when they're comparing you to the new person that they're with, the remorseful stage when they're thinking about everything that you guys have been through, they're reminiscing about the things that were great times in your lives, and then the reconciliation or the moving on. Either or, that's a coin flip. So if you found this video of any value, please like, comment, and share. Reach out to me on my other social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as I am Coach Court. And if you want a session with me, book a session through www.fruitfulseeds.com. Thank you guys. And I will talk to you soon.